everyone, I'm Kanika Saxena from kanikasaxena.com. So, how are you all doing? I hope you're doing great as usual. And I'm ready with this week's video. So, this Saturday, 1st of July, is my wedding anniversary, and I thought I would make a video about marriage. And some people ask me, from where I get topics to make videos. So some of these topics are questions that I get on Quora, which when I answer, I realize that these are very common questions that many people have. But this particular question, the topic of this video is, something that someone asked me. How do I find the right guy to marry? And I gave her an answer, and she was quite happy with the answer. And I thought that this topic is something that I can talk about in my video. If you like the content that is shared on this channel, do subscribe to my channel, Food for Thought with Kanika Saxena. So, coming to the question of how do I find the right guy for marriage? The soulmate, finding the right guy, the belief that there is somebody existing for me is actually, sorry to break your heart, not true. We have songs that say कहीं करती होगी वो मेरा इंतज़ार जिसकी तमन्ना में मैं हूँ बेकरार, or something like that. So what that means is that somebody is waiting for me somewhere. Or in the movie Dil To Pagal Hai, there was a dialogue that there is someone always made for you. And we live with such beliefs, and we are always on a lookout, hoping to find that perfect person, the person who's made for us. And we assume when we find somebody who fits our idea of the perfect person, and we fall in love and we get married, and we think, okay, now life is going to be a fairy tale because I found the perfect guy. And this is where things, the story is quite different. Just like every fairy tale or every Hindi movie ends on the theme and they lived happily ever after. It's just about finding the right person, the right guy or the right girl, and then your life is sorted and you lead a wonderful life, everything. The thing is that the actual story starts after you get married, not before marriage. And it is how you work on your marriage, how you build your marriage. And so it's not so much about finding the right guy, it is about the right attitude, the right approach, and making your marriage last long. And this is where most people, especially the current generation, is having difficulties. We become the kind of people that at the slightest conflict, slightest difference of opinion, we brand the other person as a toxic person. We believe that, we cannot get along with this person. He's not right for me, or she's not right for me. But we have to understand, you have to understand that conflict is a part and parcel of marriage, because each one of us is unique. We have our belief systems, we have our thought process, everything that develops with time, that develops based on our experiences, our interactions with people. So each one of us has a different set of beliefs. Even though we may meet somebody who we believe is perfect for us, they may not have the same kind of belief system as us. And so there will be conflicts, there will be difference of opinion. And you cannot just dismiss a marriage based on that. It is when you resolve those conflicts that you build a strong relationship, a strong bond. So you have to, accept each other. You have to understand this important thing, that nobody is perfect. Everybody has their positives and their negatives. And you need to accept the positives and try to overlook the negatives. Because if you look at any marriage, no marriage is perfect. There will be differences. There will be wives who are not happy with exactly how their husbands are, or husbands who are not very happy with what their wives are. And many of them tend to believe that the other marriage, marriage of their friends or their siblings or somebody else who they have come across, that is a very happy marriage. Everything is going well. Well, every marriage has its, tough times. There are difficulties. It's how you overcome those difficulties that matters. And over time, if you learn to accept each other, if you learn to accept the negatives in the other person, positives, yes, it's easy to accept. To start with, you look only for the positives. Just try to overlook the negatives. But as you grow, as your marriage grows, try to accept the negatives. You will reach a stage where both of you will be able to tell each other what the negatives are, and you can work on yourself and improve yourself, improve your relationship. But to reach that stage, it takes a long time. It does not happen overnight. So, in the initial stages of marriage, I've also done that. We find something that we don't like in our partner, and we are too quick to point that out. You are like this, you are like that. But what we forget is we also have our negatives, and we are oblivious to them. Most of us are oblivious to our faults. We are only aware of the positives of what we think is good about us. And we rarely focus on what our negatives are. And that is what happens in a marriage, because we are so full of our positives or how good we are. We feel that the other person is only bad, they are negative, and we are suffering because of that person. But the truth is far from this. Even both spouses might feel that way, that they are the ones who are tolerating, they are the ones who are suffering. But it's not like that. Each one of us has to put up with certain things. We have to accept the uniqueness of the other person. It's only when we accept the person as a whole, with their positives and their negatives, that we can make a marriage last. It is not that easy. It should not be that easy to just break off a relationship based on a small fights over trivial issues, because there is much more. You need a partner, you need a spouse, and you have to work on your marriage. It is not a fairy tale. It does not end happily ever after. You have to make it happy. You have to work on your marriage. Hope you liked watching this video. Thank you for watching the video till the very end. If you like the content that's shared on this channel, do subscribe to my channel, Food for Thought with Kanika Saxena. Do follow me on Instagram, like my Facebook page. The links are mentioned in the description below. So thank you for watching the video. See you next week. Bye-bye.